Hello people, Man on the Edge, back again with another video. This one is, it's just going to be a look at my Metallica collection, everything. I know I've done Metallica pickups and I've done a collection video in the past, but I haven't shown everything in one go, and what I'm going to do with this is post links to this video on various Metallica fan pages on Facebook, just to try to drive some more subscribers to my channel. Really, that's the main goal really with that. So this is probably going to take a while because there's quite a lot of stuff here, obviously, as you can see. There's a couple of albums here where I'm not sure whether we recorded, and my memory's a bit hazy and my eyesight's a bit crap, so I probably won't be able to read some of the writing, but we'll try and persevere with it. This is my second attempt at making this video tonight. I tried to make it before, but the video kept stopping on its own every sort of 30 minutes, and it took me a while to work out that it's because it was filming in 1080p and it was filling the storage space on my phone up, so I've reduced it down to 720, and hopefully that'll give me sort of, you know, double the time, or, you know, a bit more time. So anyway, if I don't shut up and get on with this, that won't matter, so let's get on with it. This one arrived a few days ago from the Storm. It's all demos from the Master of Puppets and Justice for All and the Black Album. Really good sound quality on this. You know, a lot of those demo tapes from those, you know, the 80s and early 90s were quite rough, but the sound quality on this seems really good, so quite happy with that one. There's not much point in owning that if you've got the you know, the deluxe versions of the, you know, those albums I mentioned, the Master of Puppets, Justice for All and the Black Album. But as any regulars to this channel will know, not that there's a massive amount of subs, but I collect bootlegs, and you know, it's not necessarily about what's on them. I just like to own these because they're quite obscure things. This one, Red Diamonds, this is recorded live in London, 92, Wembley. This one goes for a lot of money. It goes for up to like £150, which is, you know, just a mystery to me. I paid like 25 for this, so it must be the rarity of the item. That's usually what drives the price up. So yeah, it's an audience recording, 2-disc set. I think it's October 24th, 92, if my memory serves correctly. So yeah, it's a good show. Good, you know, the sound isn't that bad for an audience recording. It's quite good. It's, you know, I've actually got that same show on 2 separate CDs, which you'll be seeing at some point when as we get through this lot. Frantic limited edition 2-disc set. I'm not sure how truly limited this is. I paid about, I think, £15 for this. So yeah, that's quite a good one. I think I've got all the Saint Anger era singles now. The Sandman Cometh. This is one of these new broadcast bootlegs, you know, still factory sealed. I'm never going to open this one. One of my rules also is I don't unwrap things that are factory sealed, because, you know, any of these shows I want to listen to, I can just download them or burn them to CDR or something. So, you know, if I get something that's brand new and still sealed, I keep it in its wrapper. So yeah, this is a really good set to own. You can still probably get this online if you look on Amazon, or it's a really good site, by the way, called Sister Ray Records if you're in the UK. Give them a look. This anyway, it's got Woodstock 94, 2 discs, Moscow 91, Texas 89, I think that's 2 discs, and then you've got Justice on the Airwaves, whatever that is. I'm not too sure what that is. So yeah, it's a good set to own. It costs about 15 to 20 quid, that you can get that still. Candy for the Kids. This one is 2 discs. I think it's an audience recording, and it's in, I think, Florida. My eyesight is really bad. I think that's Florida. This one is Live and Dangerous. This is Hammersmith, London. Really cool Japanese writing all over that one. I love the artwork on there. All these, by the way, I mentioned this in most of my videos, but it's just to remind anyone that's new. I don't deal with CDRs. These are all factory pressed discs. Although I'm in the process of doing a deal with a guy at the moment for it's 125 Iron Maiden shows, but some of those are doubles, so it's a really massive amount of CDs, and the price was so good that he wanted for them that I've agreed to buy them all in one big massive batch. So any Maiden fans that are watching, that's going to be coming up soon, where I'm just going to break. I've broken my rule where I don't usually buy CDRs, but because of the price of them, it works out at something like £2 per CD, or £2 per album, even if they were doubles. So just a really good chance to get all them shows. Plus they all came with full colour artwork, front and back and everything. They didn't have the plastic jewel cases with them, so I'm going to have to buy those. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to listening to all that stuff. Anyway, let's carry on, otherwise we'll be here for 5 hours looking at this stuff. Metallica and Justice for All. There's not much to be said about that. If you're into Metallica, you'll know what that is. The album with no bass. Still a great album though, I love it. It's classic. All the first 4 or 5 Metallica albums, they're just essential, you can't go wrong with them. Next up, Blind Man's Ball. This was the Load or the Reload era soundboard recording from a TV broadcast. Really good show. This has been released under various different names on various different bootleg labels throughout the years, but I think I've only got this one. But yeah, there's good sound on that one. Satan Sought Them. This is one where I really have no idea where it was recorded. I don't even know if it is one show or if it's a compilation. So yeah, great name though, and great album from what I remember. I'll just move those. Next up, this one is Kiel 'Em All, Kiel, Germany. Another 2 discs. Again, I'm not sure if it's soundboard or audience. A lot of these, I listen to them when I first get them, and then I don't listen to them again for it could be months, or even a couple of years. Go by where I don't listen to some of these. Ultimate Rarities. This is good. A lot of demos, B-sides, live sessions, things like that. There's a track listing for you to have a good look at if you want to pause it or slow it down, whatever. So yeah, that's a good set to own, or a good. It's only 1 disc, but yeah, a good album, good set of songs. Next up, Bay Area Thrashers. This one, Metallica actually sued the bootleg label over this because it's a demo tape that the bootleggers have put like fake crowd noise over, and for some reason it just really got under Lars's skin, and he decided to sue over it. I think he thought the fans were being misled or something. So yeah, it's a classic bootleg, that one. Obviously got Dave Mustaine on it. Next up, the next 3 actually, I may as well show you these as a threesome, because they're all the same gig. It's recorded at the Lyceum here in the UK, and it's a really good recording, and it's a really good performance when Metallica were just on fire, the early heavy, energetic Metallica, you just can't beat it. But anyway, so yeah, it's the Lyceum in London, 1984. So that's that one, The Man Is Dead. And that same show is mistitled on these two, where it says it's live in Brooklyn. So it's the same concert, but for some reason it's mistitled as being in Brooklyn, New York, in the US. So, sorry, I don't know if I showed you the back. There you go. And then the same gig again, Caught in the Act, and that also says Brooklyn. So, yeah, really good though. Really good version of Ride the Lightning on there. S&M, really good, classic, obviously well known. I'm not too keen on some of the overdubs on that. You know, it's a good listen. I do like it, but it's spoiled by the overdubs for me. But luckily, I've got the uncut audience version of that somewhere on this table, which I'll be showing you hopefully before we get through with the tape. If my video, you know, if it will stay recording. These are the two that I mentioned earlier for the London Wembley 92 gig. It's the same as that Red Diamond set, but this is part 1 and 2, Blitzkrieg on Wembley. Yeah, October 24th, 92. And then, not sure if that's part 1 or 2, volume 2. Yeah, Albion in Chains. If you're wondering what I'm listening to or watching, by the way, it's the Saint Anger Rehearsals DVD. So yeah, that's that. Next up, this is Roaming in Sweden, I think. The Black Album tour. Yeah. Again, I'm not sure if it's soundboard or audience, that one. I'm not too fussy with sound quality. You know, I grew up listening to really bad quality stuff all my life, so audience recordings, you know, I'm not one of these that's, you know, like an audio file where you just, oh no, I can't listen to that, I've got to listen to soundboards. It's just, no. I've heard some audience recordings that sound better than some soundboards. So anyway, I'm rambling, as I sometimes do. Live in concert, this one I think is Sacramento, California, January 92, yeah. I get this mixed up with another one that I've got somewhere where it's just called Live in Concert as well, or just Metallica Live. And there's a point in the show where Lars is like saying, you know, what do you say we go back to the bar and have a few drinks, Hamilton, or something like that. So Hamilton, I think, is in Canada, so I think it's Ontario, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's where that is. And I don't get, obviously, I mean, a common thing among bootlegs is that they'll mislabel, you know, where it's actually recorded, as we've seen with that Brooklyn gig that wasn't actually recorded in Brooklyn. I think it's just to sell it to more collectors, you know, like, you know, it's to show that someone will think they haven't already got when in fact they have. The Black Album gets a lot of, it's quite divisive, isn't it? A lot of people love it. Some of the hardcore Metallica fanatics hate it, or, you know, they hate that it made them mainstream, but it is what it is. I like it. That's actually, yeah, I think that was probably the first time I heard Metallica. Or maybe, I think the first time I heard Metallica was Enter Sandman. Yeah. Or it could have been like The Memory Remains, maybe. Actually, no, it would have been Enter Sandman. In the early 90s, yeah, I remember. Mistreated, this is quite a well-known bootleg, but it just says recorded live in America, which doesn't really narrow it down very much. It may as well say live on Earth. So that's the first pile done. Next pile, this one, Garage Days Part 2. It's a nice digipack. I love this. I love that font. It's a good set of songs on there as well. A good mix of stuff. It's a really good listen. I don't know if you can see that if the camera focuses. It's all various rarities, you know, like B-sides and stuff. This is the audience recorded version of the S&M gig, so it's a really good companion to the official one. This is obviously the sound quality isn't as good, but it's not got any of those overdubs, so you're hearing it as it was on the night. So it's a good, you know, you can compare the two. I prefer this one, to be honest, because I've just got a thing about overdubs on concerts. It really bugs me. Yeah, so it's the same with which one was it now? Guns N' Roses, the Live Era CD. That's just ruined by the overdubs. You know, I just think, like, you know, there's nothing wrong with Axl's voice back then. There's nothing wrong with James's voice on S&M. Just leave it alone. Hardwired to Self-Destruct. This is the 3-disc version. This one, I bought it pre-owned, but it arrived in just immaculate condition. No scuffs, no dings, nothing. So I haven't listened to that. I've got a downloaded copy of it that I listen to, or I can just, you know, put YouTube on or whatever. All Hell Breaks Loose. This is, I think, Mississippi, 89. Is it 89? Could be wrong on the year. Oh, 92. I thought it was earlier than that. I thought it was the... Oh yeah, it must be 92 because there's Enter Sandman. I always thought this was 89 for some reason. Probably because of the picture of James on the front. It's a bit... That doesn't look like it's from 92 to me. It looks like mid to late 80s, that one. The photo. Damaged Justice. This one is recorded in... Now then, I'm trying to remember. Does it say there? I don't know if that's the... No, it's not the right way. Oh, there you go. Hang on, can't read it. The camera's not focusing. LA, is it? Los Angeles? Something auditorium. LA. My eyesight's terrible. Through the Never soundtrack to the film that lost Metallica a load of money. It's a good live album though. It's a good listen to. I've enjoyed that one. I enjoyed the film as well, more than I thought I would. This one, Live in London, 97. This is a more complete version of... There was an official release of this that I think was only released in Australia, like an EP. This is... It's got more songs on it, and it's obviously... it looks like an official release. The sound is great on it. So yeah, it's a really good CD to own, that one. Next up, I can't speak. Enter Manhattan, 92. And I bet Lars really misses that hair. Manhattan is somewhere in like Germany or Austria or somewhere like that, I think. For a while I thought that was a misspelling of Manhattan. And then I realised that no, it's actually a place in Europe somewhere. So anyway, Rains of Blood. This one again, I think it just says live in the USA. Yeah, so doesn't really tell you much about it. I don't know if it's taken from various gigs and just compiled, or if it's actually, you know, one show. Star Profile. This one is just an unofficial greatest hits. So yeah, all just the regular studio versions there. Most of these will have already been shown on my channel. It's just like I said at the start, I wanted to just get them, all the ones that I've got, all my Metallica stuff that I've got in one video, so that I can post a link to it on the Metallica fan pages on Facebook, and then hopefully drive some more people to my channel. That's the main idea behind it. Ride the Lightning, classic. If you haven't heard that, then I don't know what to say to you. You're missing out, because this and Master of Puppets are probably my two favourite official Metallica releases. It's just essential purchase, and there really is no excuse, because you can get these for like £2-3. You can get, I think you can get pretty much every official Metallica album you can get for like under £5, unless you're talking like, you know, S&M 2 or some of the other stuff like Private Grimey's. Some of that's, you know, some of the rarer official releases. They might be a bit obviously more expensive. Woodstock 99. This is a single disc version. There is a 2-disc version of this that I keep meaning to get, because the sound quality on this one isn't the best in places. Even though it's a soundboard recording, I think it's recorded directly off the radio, and because of that reason, the sound kind of drifts a little bit. I don't know how else to describe it to you, where it just sort of, it's like there's interference on the sound. It's not the best, and I'm hoping that the 2-disc version has got a better quality recording on it. This one, Terminator. This one is Montreal, 86. Yeah, Montreal. It might not be 86 though, it might be 92. I'm crap with the years, and my eyesight is so bad I can't see what the numbers are saying. So yeah, I'm sure you can see it on there anyway. Your eyeballs are probably better than mine. Posers Can't Headbang, great name. This one's New Orleans, 92 I think, yeah, 2-disc set. Great label, that Flashback. Really good label. They, when I used to be into Oasis in my youth, there was a really good bootleg on that label from Chicago, 94. It was called Ode to the Walrus. This is another Flashback one here. This one is Winnipeg, 86. So yeah, that's that one. Metal Masters. I think this one is New Orleans 92 again. This one is a duplicate of that one. I didn't realise, I don't think I realised when I bought this that it was a duplicate, but like I say, I don't mind, because it's all obscure bootleggy type stuff, which I love. Next up, Berserker. This is Copenhagen, 96, 2-disc set. Soundboard, great stuff. It gets a lot of criticism, the load and reload era, but I love it. I don't mind it at all, you know. It's this one. This one I can never remember where this one is recorded, because I don't think it says on the case anywhere. No, Storm in Valhalla. I really have no idea where that one's from. Death Magnetic, good album, but I hate this jewel case that they've put this in with the weird little corners. Don't know why they do that. I wish CDs all came in the same kind of jewel cases so that they could be replaced if something breaks, but you know. All Hell Breaks Loose. This one is Milton Keynes, 93. 2 discs on the Kiss the Stone label, which is probably the best bootleg label of all time. Well, there was the Swinging Pig and Trademark of Quality, they were probably actually better, but I think when it got to like the CD era, Kiss the Stone became one of the best, I think, I would say. every set they put out was, you know, they really did have an emphasis on sound quality and stuff like that, and, you know, good packaging and things like that. They were good. I think they were based in Italy. Kill 'Em All. Again, you should know about this album if you're a Metallica fan. So yeah, James hates his voice on that. He thinks it's too high pitch, but the songs are just out of this world. Especially, you know, Four Horsemen. Jesus, that's just, I can't even put into words how good that song is. This again, excuse me. This is one of my favourite bootlegs. This. I was so surprised when I listened to this about how good it was. Not just the sound quality, but just the performances. And then I'm more of a fan of the earlier Metallica stuff than the later stuff. This is from 2006, so this is obviously the later stuff. But it's just a really good mix of songs. And these are all taken from gigs that happened over the summer of 2006. So there's a lot of the festival stuff on here. And it's all just brilliant. When I listen to this, I listen to it about 3 or 4 times in a row, which is unusual for me. I don't usually want to do that. I usually want to listen to something different after I've listened to an album. But I remember putting that on at least 3 times in a row when I got home. I remember coming home with that. I'd bought it from Manchester. I bought a few Metallica bootlegs. And when I got home, I think I got myself a pizza or something, like a takeaway, and just sat and absorbed this new Metallica goodness. Master of Puppets, Masterpiece. You should call it Masterpiece of Puppets, or maybe not, but it would be a fitting name also, because it is a masterpiece. Orion is just my favourite song on that album, probably one of my favourite Metallica songs of all time. Hero of the Day single. What's that one? It's only got 2 songs on it, I think. Yeah. I'm not sure if that's like a promo version or something, or because they usually had more than that on the singles, didn't they? I know they put like 3 versions of singles out, didn't they? There would be CD 1, 2, and 3, where they, you know, you have to collect them all if you're a collector. Just, they know how to fleece the maximum amount of money out of people, didn't they? No Limits, No Laws. This one is recorded in where does it say there? Copenhagen. Again, the Kiss the Stone label. So you know the sound quality is going to be good before you even listen to it. I think they only put soundboards out. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that every Kiss the Stone album I've ever listened to has been like a perfect soundboard. You know, just a really good label. Next up, Naughty, Volumes 1 and 2. This is live in Canada, 92. So yeah, it's 2 discs, Naughty, Volumes 1 and Volume 2. So yeah, Argentina, 93. This is another one that I've got like 3 different versions of it. So yeah, that's that one, Argentina 93. So I Kiss the Stone again. I can't even see what that logo said. Anyway, yeah, I've got 3 of these coming up. There's that one there. Then there's one called Blood, Sweat and Tears, and then there's one called Latino 93 Parts 1 and 2. This one though is Woodstock 94, the 1 disc version. Heavy Birthday 82 to 92. It's just a good compilation album. There's all the information you need about the track listing. It tells you where it was recorded and everything. So yeah, that's that one. That's good as well. All these are good. If you like Metallica, you know, even the worst of these is going to still be good. So this one I think is Seattle. Yeah, Seattle 92. Garage Inc. Really good album there. That, again, another one. Obviously, all the official ones everyone will be familiar with. Sad But True, Montreal. This one with Lars looking like he's trying to have a shit. This one is from, obviously it's called Heavy Fuel, and it's from Stuttgart. I think that says Stuttgart, my eyes are bad. Focus. Yeah, Stuttgart. Germany. Face the Music. This one I think is from the Saint Anger tour, but it's not got any Saint Anger era songs on it, which is strange. It's definitely got the 2003 logo there, so I don't know what the deal is with that. Studio shit. This one, it's just like a recording going on in the rehearsal room. They're not. These aren't the versions that you would put on if you want to listen to the songs at their best. You know, there's a lot of these where it just sort of breaks down into comedy. Where, you know, where they're playing it really badly, like Kurt Cobain used to do with some Nirvana songs. Sometimes, you know, where they just play it to make it crap. It's interesting. It's just like listening to. It's as if you're eavesdropping on them. So it's an interesting listen. It's just not the album that you'd want to put on if you want to hear the Metallica playing at their best. You know, they're not putting much effort in, if you know what I mean. They're not. It's like it's just a very loose, light-hearted jam session, I guess you could call it. This one, Acoustic Metal, just a compilation of various acoustic songs. I think some of those are from the Bridge concert '97. So yeah, if you could pause it there or slow it down and have a look. Some Kind of Monster, the EP. The extra tracks there, I think recorded in France, 2003. They did, I think 3 or 4 shows in France in one day, and that's where those songs come from, those live tracks. This one, live at the stadium. I think this is Basel. I can never remember where this one is. Oh, there you go. Is it Basel? Yeah, was I right? I really need glasses. I can't even. My eyes are like an out of focus camera. That's what I would describe my eyes at, and it's only when I'm reading things as well. Like I struggle with food labels because the writing's so small. Devil's Dance '96 2-disc set. This one is Sweden. So yeah, that's a good one. Donington '95 on the Kiss the Stone label. It's the single disc version. There is a 2-disc one, but it's audience recordings and soundboard. So if you just want the soundboard stuff, then that's the one to go with. The single version. Blood, Sweat and Tears. This is the Argentina '93 gig. Again. So there you go. Nothing much to be said about that. I mean, it's good to have 3 different versions of the same show, I think. Some people would say, what's the point? But it's not with these. It's not about what's on the CD to me. It's just about owning it, almost like an ornament. You know, I buy these things to own them. Just that's purely it. And if you're not of the collector mindset, you wouldn't understand that. But the best way I could describe it would be, if there's value in these, why am I going to try and ruin the CDs more by just playing them and using them all the time? If I want to keep something in good condition, I'll keep hold of it, and I'll either burn a copy or buy a CDR or something, you know. Or, you know, not buy a CDR, but, you know, burn a CDR or, you know, something I'll get it on an MP3 player. There's a million ways to listen to it, or on YouTube. I don't need to, you know, reduce the value of these things. Although sometimes, if it's something that's not really expensive, I will put it on my CD player and give it a spin, just so that I can get that good sound quality from the CD, you know, rather than an MP3 file. 13-year stretch. This one is 2 gigs, one from 84, one from 97, and it's possible that the 84 gig is another one from that Lyceum show. And I think it is. Yeah, so I've got 4 versions of that gig. Jeez. This one is the Load relaunch. This one is Hamburg. I think it's taken from a TV broadcast, so sound quality is just epic on that one. It's a very well. It's one of the well-known ones that, you know, it's been released under various different titles. Beyond Magnetic. These are just the leftover tracks from the Death Magnetic sessions. It's more like an EP that than an album, yeah. And then Demo Magnetic, which is just obviously the demos from the Death Magnetic, but unfortunately it comes in one of those weird cases with the silly corners. Really, I'm going to have to try and get a move on through this, because even though I've got double the recording time, hopefully, I still don't know that I'm going to make it through. Greatest Hits Part 1. I need to get Part 2 of this, which the cover is very similar, but instead of orange there in the background, it's like a blue colour. So yeah, this is just the studio versions. It's just I don't think there's any live tracks on there. It's a nice set, and it's going to bug me until I get Part 2, because I don't like owning, you know, partial sets. This one, my absolute favourite Metallica bootleg of all time. Gothenburg, Sweden, 1987. James's voice sounds just amazing on this. Like, it's got an echo effect on the microphone. Do yourself a favour, I think this one is on YouTube, so if you haven't heard this gig, Gothenburg, Sweden, 1987, Metallica, just give it a listen, you'll see what I mean. There's an effect on James's microphone that's just, it really makes this an enjoyable listen. This is, if ever I'm in the mood for some like really good Metallica on dead loud, that's usually the album that I sort of dig out. Sheer Rage, this one I think is live in Germany. This one is one that only arrived very recently, and I'm not too keen on the white case, because it just, I don't know, I just don't like it. I'd rather it was black. But I tried to remove it, and it's not permanently in there, but I got the impression that if I tried to pull it out, it would snap something. So I just left it in. I'm assuming that that's how it originally came, with that in it, because it is so hard to remove that. And it's not usually like that with CDs. You can usually replace the tray. And it's not broken or anything, it's just I don't like the white colour. I just think it looks, I don't know, I just don't like it. I'd rather have it black. I think it's Germany. But don't quote me on that, I could be wrong. Anyway. These are the Latino parts 1 and 2. Again, it's the Argentina 93 show. Saint Anger, the official version with this DVD that's on now, obviously. MTV Icons and the live covers show that I think that's from '98 at it was the Hammerstein Ballroom in New York. I think that's where that's from. I'm not sure if that's, is it 2 discs? Yeah, they wouldn't be able to fit that on one, would they? I think it's 2 discs. Live at the Trebendo. It's audience recording from one of those gigs in France that they did, I was telling you about, where they did 4 gigs in one day. I'm not sure which one. Obviously the Trebendo, but I'm not sure if it's Paris or what. I'm not too up on my France geography. It says it's limited to 500 copies. I don't know how true that is. I think that's something they just put on there to make purchases, you know, make things seem more essential, you know. Well, you've got to get it, there's only 500 of them. In fact, there's probably more like, you know, 50,000 of them or something like that. Anyway, Angels from Hell, this one is Long Island. Yeah, Long Island. I'm not too sure what the date is on this. It looks like the Black Album period. So, I assume... Yeah, I think it's from the Black Album tour. Load. Not much to be said about that other than, for those that don't know, the name of this album is very appropriate once you find out what that is on the cover, and I'll leave you to go and research that for yourself, because it will probably make me throw up if I think about too much about it. I had pizza not too long ago. Reload. Like I said before, I love Load and Reload. I know there's a lot of acoustic stuff on there, and you know, some stuff that probably really just pissed off the hardcore metal fans, but it is what it is. Soundboard, San Francisco, I think 98. This is MTV TV show. Unfortunately, it has the swearing removed, you know, and things like Last Caress, you know. Why even show them songs? I mean, it bugs me when TV stations do that. You know, if you're going to put Metallica on and they're going to swear, broadcast it at a time when easily offended people aren't likely to be watching, or, you know. They did it with, I remember when RoboCop was shown on ITV, and they cut all the swearing out and changed it all, and it's just like, you know, just leave things alone. I hate censorship. It's one of my pet hates. San Francisco 85, really good show this. It's another one that's been put out on probably more than a dozen different labels under different titles, but yeah, it's a good gig. This one is a covers compilation that you probably wouldn't need if you've got Garage Inc., although I'm pretty sure these are live versions on here. Yeah. So it's all just cover versions, but it's really good stuff. And this is the same sort of thing, just covers. The main reason I bought this was just purely for the artwork, because like, there's not much point in getting this if you've got Garage Inc., you know. But that artwork drew me in. I'm a sucker for good packaging, and that is some good packaging right there, with the skulls and everything. So yeah, Unplugged. So yeah, you know what that is. It's all just acoustic versions of stuff. Don't Tread on Us, although it's misprinted and it says Don't Treat on Us. This one is in Washington, 92. If I don't, the rules is going to be from now on, even though there's not many CDs left, although there is actually quite a few there actually. If I don't say if it's soundboard or audience, just assume I don't know, because that's probably the case. Like if it's a soundboard or an audience and I know it is, I'll tell you, usually, unless I forget. This one, Saint Anger again, but this one is a Russian version that comes with the rehearsal sessions on CD rather than DVD. So yeah, this one, I opened this up on my last Metallica pickups video. I think the last pickups video I did was, I showed this one. So yeah, if you want to see what it's like inside, you can just have a look at that one. Creeping Death and Jump in the Fire EP. Really good stuff there. Obviously doesn't play for too long with it just being an EP, but just a really good set of songs. Rough Justice, that's just demos from the Justice for All album, obviously. Unforgiven 92, this is Den Bosch Holland. which is probably, I'm going to show you in a second. Actually, I'm going to show you my favourite Metallica item of all time. One of my favourite items of all that I've got. So yeah, anyway, this one, 2 discs, really good soundboard. It's one of those soundboards where you can hardly hear the crowd at all, so it sounds almost like a studio recording. So yeah, it's a really good gig, that one. I've got the DVDs as well for that one. Sucking My Love, this one is just a compilation that obviously includes that. It's a cover version. I think Dave Mustaine's on here. So yeah, I don't know if you can see them. If it focuses. Sometimes my eyes are that bad as well. It's even hard for me to tell if it's the camera that's out of focus or if it's just me. So anyway, put that there a sec. These two. This is the Den Bosch thing that I was just talking about. This is the box set. Now, this is over packaging for you, but it was the packaging that made me want this. So it's just the same as this, just 2 discs. But it comes with a poster, and it's in this really extravagant like box set type thing. And yeah, so these are included in my Metallica collection video. That's like the main one. If you go through my videos and look at the bottom one, you know, the very first one, you can see these and the track listings and everything. And I open them up and show you. But yeah, that top one there, Welcome to the Snake Pit, the Den Bosch gig. I remember seeing that in a little CD or music shop in Hyde, in Tameside in the UK, and that was behind the counter on a shelf. And I always remember seeing it and thinking, I want to get that. But at the time, I think it was like 40 quid. It was like £40 at the time. So I wasn't even into Metallica that much back then when I saw that. So I didn't get it. But I always remember thinking I'm going to get that cool orange box set Metallica if I ever see what it. And then purely by chance, I saw it again at a store in Manchester, and I remembered instantly, and I recognised it, even though it was like 10 years earlier. And I got it for, it was half. Well, I think it was what I paid. Yeah, 25. Yeah, so I got a good deal on that really, because it goes for quite a lot of money. That's some, you know, I'm not sure what the actual. Usually Discogs is like the more reliable source for, you know, finding out prices, but I've seen that go for up to like 80. I've also seen it go as low as 25, which is what I paid. But anyway, Obsession, 1982, is that 83? So yeah, really early stuff there. It's got the Dave Mustaine version of Four Horsemen called The Mechanics. This one is one on a promo card sleeve type thing. Not sure what